is the content industry or content creators industry in India currently? What do you think?
With that same idea, or overall in terms of the creator
overall,
industry?
when you see that your idea is to work for content creators, you are also a content creator. Were you always wanted to be a content creator, by the way?
There was no plan. There was no plan that I wanted to become a content creator. To be honest, I was building my profile. I was applying to a Harvard Business School and Stanford for their DevCode programs. And I said, hey, content will be a great way I have great communication skills, all of that. So I said, like, content is something that I can explore and also add to my profile. That's how it happened. There was no plan at all. I put out like 5-6 videos on the internet in my last year of college, and some of them really picked up. And I was talking inspirational communication, all of that. And then one thing led to the other. I've looked at everything with a very entrepreneurial lens. So I said that, okay, content, I have the skill set. I looked at the Western markets and trends there. I saw that content's improving there. These are potential ways you can monetize. Okay, let's try this. I was 21, 22 back then. So I had like the complete world open to me in terms of an open slate. So I was like, let's try and experiment. What's the worst case? We can always figure something else.
Right. And so fast forward now, when you look at the content creators industry in India.
No, I think I'm definitely, my entire company is built on the creator world. I am extremely bullish on it. I feel in terms of a number metric, it's tough to provide a number metric, but overall, from a standpoint of where this industry will go, it's like we have a 500 million, 600 million internet users right now in the country. That will scale to 1 billion internet users by, let's say, 2025 in the next 3 to 4 years, the way everything is scaling up in the country. Then another strong trend that works for India is that our median age is 29. Half the population is under 25. And those are the major consumers of content.
Yeah.
So when this particular age bracket, which is also aspirational with the high growth trends, when this particular population starts making money, who are 13, 14, 15 right now, they become 25 over the next decade. Their willingness to pay for content, to creators, everyone they've spent time with will be much higher, and buy their independent products or buy from them as well. Because also another interesting trend which we're seeing right now after COVID is, if you look at Bollywood's numbers, yesterday I was reading, it's an interesting trend. Like Amir Khan and an Akshay Kumar release are not even clocking 20 crores on the box office cumulatively, is just how content trends are shifting across the country and what the audience is wanting. So this will further keep shifting overall, and creators will grab most of the attention. We want to build the backend completely for that creator, and there'll be single founder unicorns where a creator independently around his business, he's built so much. Around his distribution, he's built so many businesses that it'll make him a unicorn standalone as well. And when that creator is wanting to build all those businesses, we'll enable them to build all those businesses through our tech platform. Like, that's our thesis overall around the creator economy, especially.
I see. So you're saying that in future there can be a few content creators who can become unicorns?
For sure. Single founder unicorns. 100%. It's happened in the States already. So for example, Mr. Beast, he's 24 years old right now, massive following. He started his own burger chain, Mr. Beast Burger Chain, which is massive in the States. And now he's using his distribution and his brand privilege to build other products on top of it. And now, I don't know whether he's like billionaire status already, but I read somewhere that he'd become massively big. Let me see.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's something that we will be enabling, and it's a long-term play. It's a 10-year roadmap, even more. So that's what we are enabling for content creators.
Right. So has content creation in any niche category become a profession if compared to traditional jobs?
In any niche category, I think across niches there are opportunities. I will bucket it into two. One is, especially when it comes to monetization, one is around brand focused content. So all of those, if you're creating like lifestyle, if you've built a cult of following, then that can be across niches, but across lifestyle, fashion, if you have like really strong presence, even music overall, like those are brand focused content that you can like monetize extremely well. Second is audience focused monetization. We've seen audience focused, especially on the education side right now, around anything edutainment or valuetainment. So finance, cooking, art, especially something like you do, all of that's driven results for creators. Those are niches that you can kind of select from in terms of audience monetization. If you're doing TikTok and retrends and you expect money, it's a tough one to go there. Is like my honest and frank take. If you're constantly doing just trends and hoping that your audience base improves, even if you have 1 million followers, some brands will pay you some money, but if you want to really build a massive business on top of it, it won't be possible. You'll have to provide some kind of value to your audience.
Right. So you gave something like a content creator should take or would take or might take at least 10 years to be at a certain level where they become as famous as, like you said, unicorn, like such as this Mr. Beast
Sure.
burger chain.
100%. Yeah. I mean, the timelines for that might be skewed, depends on creator to creator, but a decade is a good timeline. Like you'll have to, people usually get into the content play thinking that, wow, I will create 50 videos and I'll get viral. Through that, I will then monetize. It's a long-term churn. A lot of the creators that you see today who are extremely popular have been at it for quite some time. And I've known them from before they've been even starting out as creators overall. So because you waking up every day and putting out value to your audience for a long period of time, then you build a brand recall overall for yourself, and then you can think of building businesses on top of it. Or else you shouldn't get into content just for the fame and the popularity and the glitz around it. You can get in, it'll be short run, you'll do it for 2 to 3 years, you'll make some money, but if you miss out on the long-term vision, it'll eat you up. This is 100%, I've seen it firsthand across creators that I have worked with.
Right. So don't you think this is a very exhausting process for one individual, one content creator to, and do you really think content creators have these kind of massive 10-year long mission?
They don't have. That's why I say you don't think of yourself as a creator, you think of yourself as an entrepreneur. Right. I mean, it's like previously you would build product first and then figure distribution. Is product ko kaise beche? Right now you have an advantage to build distribution before you figured out product. So you build distribution using your content, but you figure out product on the back end. A lot of the times creators get burnt out a lot. There are two major reasons. One, they are not able to make money a lot from their entire content journey. And secondly, they are slaves of algorithms. And it does get to the head, like the dopamine and all of it, it does get to the head. I've seen it all, I've done it, so I know what exactly happens. Creators will keep like checking over how many likes did I get. And these are the biggest creators also, from the smallest to the biggest creators. Everyone does it. And they will keep checking, okay, refresh karte rahenge ki kya ho raha, which is really bad for anyone's mental health. And if for 2 weeks they've not gotten even average number of views or likes on their post, it starts affecting them aggressively because their businesses are connected to it. So what's a smart thing a creator can do? A smart thing they do is build communities independent of the social platform. So if you have 100,000 people in one community, can you get 5,000 of them in another platform? And within that 5,000, and like that can be your own universe. So even this is not TagMango plugin, but this is like what we effectively also allow creators to do. And I say that build your own gated universes. Those 5,000 people, provide value to those 5,000 people, get those 5,000 people to also talk to each other, and then introduce products within the same, through which you can make money off, be it educational products, be it physical products, be it books, whatever it is.
Okay.
Whatever those products are. Okay. So, and this is an overtime game. If you want to check out from the entire social thing, like over 2 years, you've built out of 100,000, you've gotten these 5,000 people who are really, really loyal. Now, can you activate this 5,000 user base for something, for a product itself around your niche? For example, there's a sexual wellness creator who wants to think around any product around like a piece safe kind of a product, and that particular direction they want to kind of build with. And they find other entrepreneurs whom they can partner with as well and use their distribution on the same lines too.
Right.
So those are things that I definitely recommend creators to do. And this is entrepreneurial thinking is what I want them to do, less than artist thinking. And that's when they'll be able to build businesses at scale.
Right. So I also want to understand from you, when you mentioned the power of community building, yes, it sounds very promising, but I have also seen practically it is not easy to, building community can be easy, but sustaining it, maintaining it, making people talk to each other is a tough nut to crack. I have been there, done that. I have my own community where I know people talk to each other.
Sure.
So what is it that people don't talk to each other if it is not a WhatsApp group? Or maybe they will talk in WhatsApp group also for some time, or maybe they'll talk in Telegram group for some time, and then everything goes like, silent for some reason. And there could be no complaints also.
So you'll have to understand, so there are two things to it. You'll have to understand why would they talk to each other. I mean, what is the reason for them to be a part of that community? So firstly, a lot of that engagement, especially early on, is driven by the creator himself or herself. So they'll have to drive that engagement and they'll have to push it in terms of getting those conversations done. And a lot of creators, I don't know if anyone's doing it extremely well, but like an online plus an offline strategy overall, if a creator kind of also adopts, this is like if you're scaling up, where you go to certain cities and you like meet up with all your fans, and this is all purely community building overall that you're doing. On the online front, one, you'll have to figure out a platform which is least friction platform, whichever that is. Like a WhatsApp is least friction, but it's very intrusive. So I don't want constant WhatsApp messages. A Facebook group could be a potential space to build community. A Discord server could be a potential space to build community. But one of the challenges, especially in terms of paid communities, what happens, a free communities, what happens is like on a Discord server, altu faltu bahut hone lag jata hai, matlab, which is of no value to the community. So like my thesis around community building is that it should be gated community building. That everyone who comes into the community either pays or is admitted to the community after approval. And you've seen their details, etc., that, hey, you want to join the community and you're a serious person who wants to provide value to the community. And you ask them, what value do you want to provide to the community? And then how I am thinking about it at this point of time is if, and even in TagMango, we'll be adding those as layers. If a person does not actively engage in a community for a certain period of time, they're automatically taken out of the community. And along with that, like there has to be on Discord that you do, right? You independently cannot run the entire community. It will become like a club in college. यहाँ पे एक president है, एक secretary है, Discord में लोग ये सब करते हैं, whose job is to keep the community engaged, to keep doing certain things on live calls, on period calls, etc. And what's their incentive? Their incentive is they are in the core committee for the creator. And then everything that the creator does, they get like first-hand access to it, or they get it for free, etc. Those are your soldiers who actually constantly keep driving the community, and their job is to activate 20 people every month. Right. If there are 5 people, you'll have at least 100 people community that are talking to each other. So those are like activations that you can do. Plus, down the road, even in online plus in offline model, if you've reached that scale, maybe you can start with one city. You can host a meetup at the creator pad. You call 30 people over and talk to them. That's like investing into community building overall. And that gives returns in the long run, which is not tangible initially, but down the road, you'll understand, okay, this is what it can kind of lead to as well.
Right. Thank you. Now this really helps.
Awesome. I'm glad.
So Divyanshu, you have shared some of the matrices around, content creators economy. Is there any other matrix that you would like to share, which has really which was mind blowing for you? Like, oh wow, this gave you some ideas to come up with some business idea, maybe.
a metric that constantly blows my mind is only 4% of women actually contribute to our GDP. So if you want to build a business, let's involve more women in terms of businesses and how they can contribute more to GDP overall. This is separate from, like, that is something I think about quite some bit. I'm like, wow, that is it, which is really poor for a country like ours. So if I have to build another business or something like that, that's somewhere I would like rack my brains around a lot. But on the content side, actually the China market actually excites me a lot. In China, to give you some context, live social commerce is a really big thing. So it's like tele shopping, जो हमारे टीवी हॉल में होता था ना, कि वो टीवी पे आते थे, बोलते थे ऐसे जूता खरीद लो, आप चावल खरीद लो, और नंबर पे कॉल करो, आपको चावल मिल जाएगा.
All is still there. Yeah,
it's still there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a while, but in China, creators go on live calls, like live streams, and they sell products. And they sell products up to the scale of $100 million on live calls. In India, a bunch of folks are trying to experiment with that. China has a different kind of, both culturally they're different, and secondly, their tech infrastructure and the social platforms that they use are different. So that kind of differentiates them. But that in particular is really exciting for me to look at from a distance at the moment, and maybe down the road, even integrate features of that onto our product. We've already added some of those feature sets onto our product, like a live social commerce piece where you've seen the product. So like a live, while on the call, you can upsell another product, and everything happens within that call itself. So it's the same features that happen in China. But that is a particular metric that like really blows my mind. Everything I look at it, and I cannot wrap my head around it at the moment.
Okay, and another irony is that when you mention about only just 4% of women involved in entrepreneurship or around content creation, maybe is ironical because there are more females versus males ratio now in our country, like 1100 kind of girls over 1000 males. Ratio has reversed.
Yeah, I mean the only I mean 4% of women contributing to GDP, the only way India can grow is to get more women to be involved in directly adding activities, either by employing them, either by getting them into entrepreneurial ventures more. And even, I mean, it's a different conversation altogether, but all of it kind of comes together for the same.
I like the word employing them. So in TagMango, how many females are employed?
Right now, we have a decent spread. I think we have 2.5 is to 1.5.
Okay.
About 15 odd females in the company at the moment. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what the number. Yeah.
So I have a very fantastic like conversations with Abhinav and Vasundhara in your team.
Right.
Suppose if somebody wants to work for TagMango,
sure.
So what exactly they have to do, and how can they get their job applied in your company?
They can reach out to hr@tagmango.com. Tell us why. Tell us their story. Tell us what drives them, and why they want to work with us. If they answer these 3 questions well, we do like a round of interviews. If we like you, then we'll take you. Like your educational background is not that important. Your attitude is. So if you have the right attitude, you can definitely join in building this along with us.
Great. So talking about the TagMango's USP, what is the USP of TagMango according to you, and some of the growth strategies?
TagMango's USP. I mean, around the tech overall as a company, I think everything that we've done extremely unconventionally. We started working on the creator economy even before the creator economy became hot post-COVID. Our go-to-market strategies, especially like a creator house, to build a creator house for a tech company, it's tough to convince your investors overall. But it's like, how do you marry both of them? Is a strategy that we undertook, which is an expensive strategy that we undertook, but it paid off extremely well for us. So I think we've always thought out of the box, even with respect to our tech products and additions that we're doing there. Now we're building independent apps and websites for creators as well. So like their own universe, within their own universe, they will host everything. Their digital products, the physical products, etc., which the customer can come in, buy from. And then there'll be a community layer also attached with it where they can build a community on top of it too. So all of that is there. So unconvention is like the USP within the company, that you can definitely expect that from us.
Awesome. Now the last question for this podcast. We see so many other content creators economy or platform based services, just like TagMango, or maybe some features are here, some of the features are there. So on what grounds, on what reasons a content creator or a coach like me should come to TagMango and not go to other content creators economy platform?
I think one of the core reasons that kind of differentiates, and that's also the culture of the company, is that we are super creator first. And that also kind of comes from the point that I have been a creator previously, and I understand the DNA of a creator and all the trials and tribulations that a creator goes through in their cycle and their journey. Understanding firsthand, like creators call me personally if they are going through a bad phase in their life, apart from talking about business. And that kind of relationship we've been able to build and solidify with creators over time. On the tech side, yes, we'll build exceptional tech, but we want to be the creator's friend. And that's what we've tried to solidify overall with everything that we've done.
Right.
And all the content strategies and everything that we're trying to give back to the community. So being creator first has been like the core principle, and I can assure anyone who kind of works with us, they'll have a ball of a time working with us. This is something I can definitely assure too. And just being part of the ecosystem. And I personally am super grateful for everyone who joins along with us, and I make it my prerogative that they have the best experience working with us, and I can do everything that I can do to scale their business. So that's like the only thing I'm gonna share with anyone who's thinking of working alongside us as a creator.
Wow, that's quite a responsible word that you have used. Like, you'll do everything to make sure that they are growing. That's amazing. That's quite a commitment.
Unless and until I'm not focused on their value, I'll not grow. And I am obsessed about growth. So it's a more selfish thing that I'm doing. Might seem that I'm very impactful, but it's all selfish that I'm doing here.
That's very honest, and thank you for sharing all these experiences of yours and speaking your mind, and everything that you have shared with our audiences definitely is going to help us a lot. So thank you, Divyanshu.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Doc, for having me. It was a pleasure. Looking forward to catch up with you when you're at the Creator Pad next.
Thank you so much.